I died. Ah! Dear Diary, it's our 8-week film already.
Film school diary, my 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 film school diary. Ah!
Hey, what's up, you guys? So today we're discussing my 8-week film. I've already been in school up to 8 weeks to this point. That's crazy. Time flies when you're insanely stressed and tired. So this project, the 8-week one, was what we called our sound sync project. This idea was we had to do not necessarily a music video. We've done that before. This wasn't a music video. This is going to be something more of, we weren't going to be recording sound for it as much as we were going to be recording images and then editing it later with sound and things like that. So it's almost like an artistic type music video or something to that extent, but it wasn't considered our music videos. This is also our first kind of like big test. Everything else, I guess we were kind of like hit or miss. It was fine or it wasn't fine. This was going to be our first project that actually was supposed to matter. We had just come out of our production workshops, and now it was time to do something that was going to be important and actually be a big project that we could possibly use in our reels. Everyone else was supposed to keep really good track of theirs, and I sadly have lost my film. I have a lot of lost media out there, it seems, for my school project. I do have a couple clips that I'll be able to show you. Thankfully, I did put part of it on my directing reel, but I do not have the whole footage. I would love to show you. Soon we will start having actual footage for me to show you guys from my videos, but right now you have to just trust me on what I'm telling you, okay? So like I said, we have a couple clips. We'll get there, But the big deal I want to talk about is this was also the first project where we were starting to switch up crew members. We were no longer going to be with our same crews. Our directing teacher wanted us to start switching out members and start getting acquainted with working with different types of people, so on and so forth. Ooh, fun. I hated that. Thanks, by the way. So, the razor blades were no more. And it wasn't like we were 100% prohibited from working with each other again, but it was kind of like encouraged. So we were all going to start breaking up teams. And like me and Carly are always like, we can probably sneak in to be in a crew again. Me and Carly were not splitting up. We were like, no. We're each other's like rides. So we're doing it. It's happening. We're not like splitting up right now. So me and Carly decided to stick with it. Red was going to go to a different crew, but I believe for this one she couldn't find a crew or she wasn't able to get on the right schedules with somebody. So she ended up sticking around as well. But sadly, this would be with the first time we lose July. He comes back and forth. I work with him other times, but he's the first member to leave the Razor Blades, sadly. So he went off to work on somebody else's project. So we needed a fourth member. So we were kind of struggling. We were bouncing around trying to figure out who our fourth member was going to be. Up to this point, we hadn't really made a lot of friends with other people. So it's fair that they were telling us we need to get back out there and start making acquaintances with other people. So we were kind of all over the place. So we couldn't figure out what to do, and we saw Jan standing in the corner. I talked about her before. She was the one who offered me that orange on that set that one time. Very sweet girl, love her, very kind person. We just never really worked together, but conveniently she lived in the same apartment complex as Red, so it was one of those things where we could kind of just go to their apartment complex and shoot a bunch of stuff there, and then we wouldn't have to jump from person to person's house and stuff like that. So we're like, okay, not a bad idea. So she joined the Razor Blades as like Razor Blades 2.0. I don't know if she knew that joke. I don't know if she was part of it, but she joined. So that was great. So we had a new little crew forming. And honestly, I think it was like all the girls in class and me. So 2 girls and a they. So we had our little new crew set up and we had to go shoot our films. I will say that we got some really cool stuff. So we were always very much encouraged to not be in our own films. They're like, you're directors, not actors. And I said, I can do it all, sonny. But up to that point, I hadn't actually acted in any of my stuff. And everybody else would because they didn't want to get actors and they didn't think it was going to matter. So they would just act and stuff. And none of these people actually cared about acting. I have actually become an actor since then. So I was okay with acting and I enjoyed it. So I decided for my sound sync film, I was going to act in it. Mainly because I was really tired of searching for actors and making projects that they didn't really want to be a part of just because school told me to. So I was like, I'll just act in it and I can do it. So, and I think I even had Carly act in the film. I don't have footage sadly anymore because I lost most of the video, but I'm pretty sure Carly was in it. So we were shooting our films or all our stuff. I want to say I ended up going we did all of our stuff, I think, in one day. I think we kind of knocked them out pretty quickly, or we knocked them out within we had 2 weekends to shoot these, and I think we knocked them out in one weekend, so we'd have like a little extra time or something to that extent. We like to do that a lot. The Razor Blades definitely were trying to get us some sleeping time because we were tired. So we had shot a bunch of stuff for Carly's. And I think the basic idea was like on like Saturday, we were going to shoot everything in Burbank. That's where most of their apartments were. And they were going to come visit me. I was living out in the Santa Clarita area at the time. So we were going to do like a little split type of day. But I was like, if you come to my house, I'll give you food. Made a big spaghetti dinner, did the whole thing. I'm Italian, of course. They made spaghetti. It's who I am. I can't help it. I have a very good sauce recipe, neither here nor there. So we were going to do that. So the first day out, we went to shoot Carly, Reds, and Jan. I think I called her Jan. We were going to go shoot their films out in Burbank, and then they were going to come to me on Sunday, I believe, and we were going to have like a very chill day, shoot the video, and then we're going to have a big old dinner and have a nice time. And then I think that was it. I want to say we might have had Monday off or something, but everybody had like, we were technically supposed to be able to go on Monday or something like that, but we were taking Monday off because we were all going to shoot our films in those 2 days instead of 3. I don't know. It'll make sense in a moment. So we did that, and we shot Carly's film, and it was really good. It was really heartfelt. It was really well made. It was set to a very sad song, if I remember correctly. I can't remember exactly what it was about, and I don't think she even has the film anymore either. For some reason, nobody seemed to really save these films. She might. I don't know. I have not seen it in a very long time. So we shot this whole thing with one of our earlier actresses that we had used before, and we were going to work with her again. And so we shot some stuff with her, and then we moved some of the other projects around, and we did some stuff at Red's house, and then we did some stuff at Jan's house, and we did all that stuff. Great, cool. Quick side note about Carly's. So God bless the girl, but something happened where the memory card got magnetized. I'm pretty sure, I don't know who it was. I don't want to point fingers, but I think somebody was in charge of the camera. It wasn't me because I never touched the camera. You know me, I ain't touching that camera. I don't want to touch it. So I want to say it might have been Jan. I think either lost the memory card or put it next to something and it magnetized it. So all of Carly's footage was ruined, destroyed, gone. Terrible. But Carly only found this out after we had returned all the equipment. And that was I think we had returned it after mine on Sunday, or we returned it on Monday or something. We returned all the equipment anyway, either way. So we didn't have it anymore. And that's when she found out that all of her footage was destroyed, supposedly, which was annoying. So she calls me in a frenzy on a Monday. Again, it's my day off, her day off, we're all chilling. And she calls me, she's losing her mind. She goes, I lost all the footage. And I said, oh my gosh, what do we do? And she's freaking out. So we call a different actress, and the other actress lived near Carly. And so what I suggested was, hey, we all have really high quality phones. Why don't we take our phones, shoot in 4K or whatever you could do at the time? It might have still been just HD, but we'll shoot them all on that and then we'll edit it together and it'll look great, because I want to say the cameras we were using were only HD anyway, so it wasn't like we were shooting 4K on our camera anyway. We were still shooting HD, so well, let's do that. So I went out there on the Monday and I helped Carly film all of it. We couldn't get a hold of Red or Jan, so it was just me and Carly reshooting the whole thing. We had a different actors. We shot the frame for frame reshoot of that film. We did all of it. It was the one time I was cinematographer. I was holding an iPhone like this. We didn't even have equipment, so I was just like this, trying not to shake, so I wouldn't shake the footage. So we did all of that for hers, and it turned out really good. I thought it was really good. But then Carly got home, and I think maybe her roommate or a friend of a friend or something, figured out how to fix the memory card. So all the original footage was back. So we shot Carly's films twice. It was great. And the worst part is it was frame for frame, the same things with 2 different actors. I don't think she used the iPhone footage at all for anything, because why would she? She had the real camera footage back. But yeah, that was a funny little anecdote, is that, yeah, we went and shot her film twice, and that was the only time I ever cinematographed in school, I believe. And yeah, so we went and did that, and it was pretty funny. I cannot recall what Jan's was, and I cannot recall what Red's was. I don't remember. I barely remember this one for me, so I'm not going to really remember what theirs were. So that's neither here nor there. So we were shooting we did all theirs the first day, and then on Monday we would do Carly's again. Little fun side note. But Sunday was my day. And so I had an idea. I was really into the song The One Who Got Away by Katy Perry back then. I was really into that. I was like, oh my gosh, so sad. I don't know why. I was just like obsessed with it. But yeah, so that one I want to do a video for. And I technically, because it's school, we could use copyrighted music because there's, I don't know, they said copyright laws. I don't know how legit that is. I will be cutting the sound out and what clips you can see of mine because I don't know how legit that is. According to the school, though, because it's technically educational purposes, you can use copyrighted material. I don't know. I'm not playing with it anymore. So I'll use, it'll be non-copyrighted music in there. So I was doing a video for that, and my idea I was coming up with is I wanted to make a video that looked like it was a breakup. Because everybody in my class was doing like breakup videos. Everybody was doing sad videos. Everybody was like, oh, we're sad, we're breaking up, it's not good, ooh. And it was like all very like tumultuous. And I have to be difficult always. So what I wanted to do was it looked like a breakup. It looked like a girl going through a breakup. She was struggling. She wasn't doing well. And then we were going to have a little twist at the end because I love a twist because I just do, okay? So anyway, we had our actress and we had our little meal and everything. And I was playing the boyfriend who was being broke, who was part of the ending of the relationship. And then I think I had Carly playing a character as well. She was like the friend or whatever. So we started off really nice. And like I said, I do not have any of this footage, sadly. I wish we did. It was honestly pretty good. And again, it's a shame it's all been lost. So we took my apartment and I had to make it look like a bunch of different apartments because I wanted it to look like a span of time. I also wanted to make it look like they had moved around. I wanted it to look like bedrooms, stuff like that. So I used to own a futon at the time. So what we did was we turned the futon into like a bed. We put bedding on it. And I wanted to do like an overhead shot. And I wanted to go from being like, oh, they're cuddling so sweet. Oh, so cute. Like, oh, look at us. And I wanted to cut to her alone in bed, screaming and crying, pulling the sheets. Whatever. So that was, we had, again, I think Jan might have been in charge of cinematography for this. I believe it might have been Jan. She's up there. And again, the girl is probably 5'1", maybe 5 foot. She's teeny. And she's up on a ladder and she's like, I got it. And we're like, okay. So I'm lying, again, first time I'm acting. I'm lying on the thing. There's a camera above my head. And Jan's like, we got it. Don't worry. And I'm like, terrified. So we do those shots first because I want to get all the stuff where I'm in it out of the way first and foremost so we can so I can get back to directing because again I understand I'm supposed to be directing but I'm acting this because I wanted to. So we do all those shots first. I wanted a lot of really sweet stuff. So what we did, we had this bar in my apartment that was right over the kitchen. And so we cleaned it off. It was very smooth. And so we put the camera on it and we had Jan like slowly run by and pull it. So we did like almost like a tracking kind of like a dolly shot, and it was like me walking around the girl and put my head over her shoulder and like, oh, romantic. And again, I'm not like a romantic person, so Carly's laughing the whole time, being like, ha, you're so, ooh, look at you, you're cuddling, ooh, look at you, you're being emotional. I'm like, stop it, I'm tough, I am, stop. So anyway, we shoot a bunch of those things, and it's sweet. We shoot all of the little sad stuff of the break, well, the good stuff that makes the breakup sad. So I also made a bunch of props because, as you guys know, I'm the art director of my class. And so, spoilers for how the video ends, is after we have all this sad stuff, we start playing The One Who Got Away by Katy Perry, which is like the song the whole video is based around. And we have Carly walking in as a friend, and she's holding the newspaper. And the newspaper shows my photo, and it's my obituary. Because we didn't break up. I died. Ah! And it looked really good. It looked so good. It looked really, I think it looked really good. But like, I forgot to put other things beside it. So it's just a whole page of my obituary. So like in my world, I guess my character was so important that I got like a full spread for my obituary. And that honestly was tea. That was funny. And I think that's iconic. So anyway, with that being said, I want to go through now, and after we did all that stuff, we turned the lights down because this is all kind of like daytimey type shots. We had a couple of shots also where I wanted I have a weird aesthetic where I like to do like weird parts of the face to show emotion. I either like to show just like an eye, or just like a mouth, just like whatever. And that's just kind of like I don't know why, but I like that aesthetic for my film. So I do a lot of that in my actual real filmmaking. Is like you'll just see just a mouth, or you'll just the eye for whatever emotion that we're trying to express. So we did go move scenery to a bathroom, and I wanted to show the girl. The character's name was Michaela. We'll just refer to her as Michaela. Again, that character is a character that I will bring back in my thesis, so Michaela's kind of important. She's also kind of important to most of my franchises. It's actually a very common character I bring up. So Michaela was in the bathroom, and we had her spraying my cologne on her. because I wanted to be like, we pay attention. Like, oh, she's wearing his cologne to his funeral. How sad. So I put her in this black dress that I found at like a thrift store, and it was so cute, and it fit her perfectly. It was just stunning. It was like this little like black lacy thing, and then it went down to like a little like black, like little black dress. So it kind of looked at first like before you knew I was dead, it looked like, oh, she's going out to, you know, go to the club, see people. But then it's like, no, she's going to a funeral. I'm looking back on it now. She wasn't going to the club. She looks sad. But yeah, we had a little shot of her spraying the perfume, the cologne. And we tried to hit the light just right. Jan was like moving lights around. We were holding a flashlight up, everything we could to get that little spray. And it looks okay. Looking back on it now, it looks kind of cheesy. But at the time, we're like, yeah, this is perfect. This is iconic. Woohoo. Again, I was being very melodramatic. All for what? I can't even find the footage. So we did those shots, and those were really good. Those were really fun. And so we did all that kind of stuff. And then we had to move back to the fake bedroom, the faux bedroom. It was actually my living room again with a futon. But we move over there. So while we're over there, the camera's looking down still. And at this point, it was supposed to be nighttime of her not being able to sleep alone, because the song I think we did was Heartbreak or something. I can't remember what it was. Maybe, I think Harold's song by Kesha was the second song we were using, because we could do as many songs as we wanted for our sound sync as long as they sunk up with what was happening. So we had that song, and that song has a lot of stuff about like just kind of like really heartbreaking, like a lot of like kind of shrieks of pain. And I really wanted that to be her inner dialogue of just, she's not even saying anything, she's just moaning in pain and agony. And so we had her there, and again, the shots were cut really nicely between me holding her and then her being sleeping alone, tossing and turning, and we had the blue light on, and it was like chaotic and messy and dark. And then we had another shot of her getting up, pulling off the ring and throwing it. She threw it across the room, and she's like, no, he's dead. And I don't think I actually showed her going to pick it up and put it back on, because again, later on we do see her with it wearing again. So that's on me. That's continuity. I don't believe in it, I guess. I don't continuity things. So we did that. And again, this was our this is our first project that was supposed to be like a big deal. And so we did all of the shots. We were getting ready to edit together. I think I have Carly coming in her funeral outfit. And she's, you know, with the newspaper like I brought up earlier, she's bringing Michaela to the funeral, I guess. And then we have the final pan down to look at the newspaper revealing that I had died. And so that was what we shot for my sound sync. And it turned out pretty good. Again, obviously looking back on it now, I would have probably done a lot of stuff different. Also probably saved it somewhere where I could find it. But yeah, so we did that one, and we did all the other girls' projects. Again, I can only really remember Carly's because we shot it twice. I don't remember what Red did. I don't remember what Jan did. All I can remember is we did something, because we had to, obviously. The other thing I would like to discuss is how this was a weird period of time where they only let us edit stuff on their computers, or we had to have the actual program that they wanted us to edit on, which looking back on it now is crazy. You can pretty much save, most programs can save to the right file formats, but back then they're like, you have to use this one particular program. And it's not like a free program that they supplied. It was a very expensive one. And they were like, well, you have to, if you want to use it and you don't have it at home or don't have it on your own laptop, you need to come to the school and do it. And I lived pretty far away already, so that was kind of annoying. So like, to edit this probably 3-minute film that I'm never going to see again, I had to register for like a 4-hour shift at the school, drive all the way in there and edit all of it. And like, if you've ever edited a video, you don't just get to press a button and it's done. You have to like sit there and let it render, and it takes forever. So like, that was really annoying. And I remember this one in particular was kind of obnoxious because it was one of those things where I had to have like the 4 or 5 hours to edit it. And then I had to like, you know, wait for it to save, make sure to save properly, bring it over to the guys who were in charge of it, bring it to that. Because at the end of the day, we always had to bring it back to our editing building. That way we could give it to them to put it up on the screen or whatever. They'd never let us just bring laptops in. We had to like put it on the CD, or we had to do whatever. And so like, again, already going to school for like 8 hours a day, and then the rest of the night you have to spend over there editing this film, and that just got really, really annoying. And again, I could not afford the product, the actual real official editing program, because it wasn't like free. It was it was industry standard, and back then they didn't offer subscriptions. Like now, be a different game changer. Like I can afford a subscription, but that like back then I want to say it was like $800 or $1,000 for the thing, and I didn't have it. Nor did I have an actual computer that would handle it, because I think it was for Mac only at the time, and so like that was a nightmare. So I didn't actually get to edit home and comfy. I had to go to school, and like they make a big deal of it. Like you have to get the room, and then you have one little chair to sit in, and there's like 5 other people in the same line with you, and you're squished in the corner. I'm a big person. I don't have a lot of room for this. So I'm sitting there like this, and you can't have snacks, you can't have drinks. It just becomes very cold and sterile, which I think is a very difficult way to edit something. Like, I like to be comfy. I like to have my food, my candy, my gum, my whatever. Because like when I edit, I get into it. I really enjoy editing, and I like to be comfortable while I do it. So that was really kind of obnoxious. Sadly, I didn't get to have like a little comfy place to do it. I do cheat it later on. We'll discuss it in a different video. I do figure out a way to get around it, because I know that it's affecting my project more by not being able to be comfortable while I do it. So anyway, but yeah, so we edit our projects, and I really liked how mine turned out. It was really good. I think it was a really sweet video, and I think it really turned out kind of cute. Of course, my director teacher, everybody had something to say about my acting. They're all just like, you in a straight relationship? I don't think so. And it's like, it's called acting. Ugh. So anyway, but yeah, we had a lot of fun, and we shot those ones. I will say the best part, and Carly still brings it up all the time. So my mom had made us spaghetti for our wrap party. Like I said, I'm Italian, so of course we made spaghetti. And then my mom would always make these like blackberry bars, and to this day, Carly brings it up. And I guess there was one shot where Carly and Red were just in the corner, just like we couldn't find forks or something, or they didn't know where the knives or forks were, and they were just ravenously eating these blackberry bars. The recipe was delicious. If I could find the recipe, I'd send it to her. It's something like where it's like a cake mix and like I want to say like oatmeal and blackberries, and it's just like kind of like a weird granola bar type thing, but it's like full of blackberries. It's very good. And so they would just eat that. And that was like almost the joke of like, we'll do anything as long as we can come back for these. So like I could probably convince them to come shoot the last of my house as long as I provided them with these treats and these food. I will say in a couple, I want to say a year or two, I invite some of the other guys over for my spaghetti and stuff, and they weren't as nice about it, which I think is a shame. One of them was actually from Italy, and he's like, this isn't like what spaghetti's really like. And I'm like, it's American spaghetti. I'm sorry. This was easy to make. It wasn't like I was slaving over a stove. We were filming something. I threw a cannon. I doctored it up. That's a tangent that I don't need to go on right now. But so we shot that film, and it turned out, we shot my film, we got it all done, and it turned out pretty good. It turned out pretty fun. Like I said, though, I don't have it to show you guys. I didn't, hopefully was able to show you a little bit of the footage. I hope that overall it was somewhat enjoyable to still watch parts of it. Yeah. So we also, like I said, we did Carly's, and Carly's was really sad and heartfelt. She is, very good at invoking certain emotions in film, and I wish she would recognize that. Like I feel like I have to tell her that all the time, and I don't know if she necessarily always believes it, but she definitely does invoke a lot of really powerful emotions with her music videos. The girl, she loves music in general, and so she does have a really good use of music for her films. And for the most part, she really brought something cool to the music videos. I will say these ones weren't my favorite films comparatively. I think the actual digital music film or music video we did the last time was much more enjoyable. I do prefer like looking at the camera, singing, and be like, yeah, lip syncing. I'm a drag queen. Of course I like lip syncing. Can't help it. I love it. But this one, it was interesting because it was something that will probably be more useful to us as filmmakers, because we will have to edit stuff to music sometimes. Not everything's going to be a big, crazy, performing in a stadium video. Some of it's time it's going to be like a sad moment in a TV show where a character's crying and they lost a loved one. And they died. So, like, it's fair. It makes total sense, I guess. But, yeah, so that was our sync sound film, I believe, which was also technically our 8-week. It was a big deal because, like I said, this was like our first it wasn't our midterm. It was like our quarter term. I don't know. I can't remember exactly how long it was, but I remember this one was a big deal. I want to say we were coming up right up to Thanksgiving. I think at this point we were like November-ish, and we were coming into our Thanksgiving period. So we kind of were like all holding our breath of like getting our grades back after Thanksgiving. So it was one of those things where we kind of submitted it before Thanksgiving and we wouldn't get the information until after, which can be kind of nerve-wracking. I wasn't too worried because I liked it at least. Again, it wasn't my favorite, but I did like it. I will say I had a really fun story with Thanksgiving. So that was our first holiday. It was our first like actual chunk of time off. We had like probably, I think, a week or 2 weeks off possibly. I think maybe just a week. Either way, we had like a nice little period of time where we could kind of be off. I invited everybody over. I think Carly might have gone home that week. I think she went back home. And I think Red might have also, or Red had family nearby or something. Either way. And yeah, I don't know if me and July just weren't that close at that time. I don't know. July couldn't come over. But I was like trying to invite people over. I was trying to do like a stragglers Thanksgiving. Because this is also my first real Thanksgiving away from my like extended family. I had like my parents, but like I didn't have like my cousins, my aunts, all that stuff. And so I invited so many people. And this one girl, let's call her Hope. Sweet, not a girl. She was a lady. She was way older than me. I don't know. I was like 18. She was probably like 30. So not like that much older, but she was like an adult. And I kept seeing her at the grocery store. Like I said, I didn't live in Burbank. I lived nearby. And so we had our Thanksgiving and we were going to do it there in Santa Clarita. And I kept seeing her at the Ralph's, I think. And we kept running into her. I'm like, Hope, we go to school together. What are you doing here? And she's like, oh, I live out here too. And she kind of was away from family. So I invited her. And I didn't think she was going to come because really all the Razor Blades couldn't come because of family obligations or whatever. Again, why did July not come? I don't know. Anyway, so I invited her and it was fun. I will say though, this was probably the worst Thanksgiving I ever had because my apartment complex decided that was a good day to shut the water off. Do you know how hard it is to make a full dinner without water? You can't wash dishes. You can't like boil water for potatoes. It was like a nightmare. I had to like bottle water it. We had to like everything, boil and stuff, whatever. And so I was doing all this stuff, jumping through hoops. And I had this lady coming over who, again, I barely know. She wasn't even in my class. She was like another class that I just recognized from the halls. And so we're doing that. And then I get the worst food poisoning. I'm not like a food poisoning type person. I don't get sick. I don't get sick from food. I can eat garbage and be fine. And so I get food poisoning. And so I can't cancel because she doesn't know where else to go. So we have no water. I have food poisoning. And I have a kind of a stranger coming to my house. So I put on a brave face and I'm like, hi, how are you today? Yeah, happy Thanksgiving. I'm thankful for this and that. Whatever. Terrible. It was nightmare-ish, nightmare fuel. And so I'm just trying to get through the day. My whole family is trying to get through. I think everybody had food poisoning at that point. And so we have Hope over there. She's big and cheerful. She's like, yeah, Thanksgiving. And so this is the first time we've had a holiday away from my extended family also. And so God bless Hope. This is hilarious. So we've had a whole dinner, had a whole meal, and then we call my grandparents to figure out the Skype, and they call us. And then Hope pulls out my mom's keyboard. She starts playing A Christmas Carol, and she puts on a full show for my extended family. Like, they're all like, who is this lady? And I go, a friend from school. And then finally get to the point where it was like midnight and she wouldn't leave. Finally I had to be like, okay, I have food poisoning. I gotta go. Anyway, and then that was the last time I really saw her. And then we went back to school and it was all great and it was all dandy. So I kind of took a tangent, but I don't know what else I was going to tell you about my food poisoning story from Thanksgiving with some lady who wouldn't leave and did show tunes for my family. She also taught me the electric slide. So that's only happens in LA, baby. Anyway, so that was our sound sync. The next one I believe is our POV, which I do have to show you. I actually can show you a real video finally. Yes! So make sure you subscribe, follow all those good things. And I really hope you did enjoy my film school diary. So yeah, okay, bye. Yeah, like legitimately, she wouldn't stop singing show tunes. And I thought it was hilarious, but it was one of those things where some stuff's only really funny if you're at your best, but if you're sick, you're kind of like, please leave me alone. I don't want to sing a show tune and do the electric slide when I feel sick to my stomach. I will say, I did miraculously get better by Black Friday because I wasn't missing my deals. I went out and bought myself an Xbox 360 for like $50. It was crazy. I got the Ring of Death on that though. So sad.